She doesn't even go here!
I'm bi, actually.
Excuse me. Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Hi, I'm Kurt Hummel, and I'll be auditioning for the role of kicker.
Hello! Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Not So Straight Nerds. I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Leisha.
And today, we are talking Oscars 2026.
Yep.
Very exciting.
Crazy.
This is the final awards show of the awards circuit this year. Very exciting. We've watched, what all have we watched? We watched the Critics' Choice.
We watched everything but the
But the
BAFTAs because
BAFTAs.
they didn't live stream it anywhere when it was coming out. So,
Correct.
I watch it. So, anyways.
So we missed, and the Golden Globes we watched.
Yeah, Critics' Choice, Golden Globes, and then last night we watched the SAG Awards, or Actor Awards, whatever.
An actor.
Anyways, not last night in posting this video. We watched it when it came out. So, there you go.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot to talk about.
Certainly.
We certainly have not seen all of the nominees, although I will say I looked through, and there's 11 categories that I've seen all of them.
Period.
Once I watch The Secret Agent, that jumps up to 14, and then once I watch Arco, that's 15.
Okay.
And that's doable.
Yeah.
You're honored.
Absolutely.
So, very
That's
exciting.
Mhm.
Before we start diving into the categories, some quick questions for you. What has been your favorite awards show this season?
Oh, probably. I'm trying to remember if I disliked one. I mean, the Critics' Choice felt really long. The Golden Globes are always fun. Nikki Glaser is hilarious. I really liked, format-wise, how the Actor Awards went.
I actually really liked the Actor Awards.
I really do too. I would probably say that one was my favorite, although it didn't have a ton of categories. It would have been nice, like you said, being an Actor Awards, if it had more acting awards, if it didn't combine so many supporting roles.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. That would have been like my only feedback, really. I liked everything else.
I agree.
I really, really liked how this felt like the only award show that never rushed anybody. And what a difference that makes.
Indeed. I also
Imagine.
love their edits. I think the
Yeah.
Critics' Choice had a really fun edit at the very beginning, mashing up a lot of the nominees, which I
Yeah.
think was awesome. But this one I really liked them doing a lot of different ones. And then the clips, especially for the categories, were awesome.
They were like low-key better trailers than some of the actual trailers for those movies.
For sure.
So,
So
fuck that. Anyways.
but yeah, we didn't watch it, but I'm gonna say my least favorite was the BAFTAs, because my gosh.
Yeah, how you're not even gonna live stream it, and then obviously the shit show with what they live stream and what they filtered, and like everyone's talking about it. It's just ridiculous, and then they made some weird choices like they always do. Yeah, it's like definitely the least favorite, and I'd be shocked if it wasn't everyone's least favorite because you didn't even get to watch it live.
I'm sure the British did.
Well, at least they have something, I guess. I don't know.
That's funny. So, diving right into the awards race, we are just going to go kind of by category, look at the nominees here, maybe talk about some snubs, and then ultimately pick who we think will win and should win.
I think we should go bottom up because I don't want to start with Best Picture.
Okay.
I feel like that's a lot, you know?
Respect,
I feel like
respect.
We should end there.
So, starting at the very bottom, we have writing for original screenplay. I've also pulled up a website from Gold Derby listing currently all of the nominees and wins in these categories. I think that's going to help us clock some snubs and maybe look at who might be more of a front runner.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you mind listing through the nominees?
Yeah, so the nominees here for the Oscars in original screenplay is Blue Moon, which I have not seen, but
I
you've
have.
seen. I've seen every other movie in this list. It was just an accident. Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners.
Interesting. Off the top of your head, can you think of any snubs here?
I mean, sorry, baby, but I'm not surprised it was snubbed at all, but I'm still disappointed.
That's very fair.
So, I think it's actually kind of ridiculous, but it didn't make a lot of noise. So, oh well. Julia Roberts really tried, and I respect her for that. That's why I've always loved her. So, oh well, what can you do? And then I haven't seen Blue Moon, but I haven't heard people talk about it a lot either, other than the fact that it is nominated, not so much whether it should or not. Like, I haven't heard any opinions about the movie.
About which one, Blue Moon?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I've just heard it is there in nominees.
Indeed. While we're talking about it, I will say, I think there's some things that Blue Moon does really well. Overall, I think it's a solid to fine movie. However, I fear it could be me just not connecting with the work that well, but I feel it's kind of crazy that it's nominated for script.
I have no comment. So,
Blue Moon, Blue Moon was previously nominated at the Boston Society of Film Critics, and it won. And the National Society of Film Critics as a runner-up. Interesting. Speaking of snubs, something that isn't on this list, Jay Kelly. I did enjoy that script a lot.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'd replace that with Blue Moon easily.
I mean, and it made a little bit of noise, so
Indeed.
It's not out of left
I
field.
feel like there's not a lot of Jay Kelly here, actually. I feel like it made some push in critics and Golden
Early
Globes.
on, yeah.
It's interesting that kind of lost its way.
Mhm.
Also not nominated was If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I don't think it's been awarded for this, but I think a lot of people in the circle have talked about how much they like the script, even if I strongly disagree.
Mm-hmm. Good point out, though.
I'm just going through Secret Agent. Ooh, what is it? People have also complained that they
No Other
completely
Choice?
snubbed out No Other Choice.
I don't know if that would be original or adapted. I have no idea because I haven't gotten to see that one. But yeah, I've heard people will be disappointed in that.
Very disappointed.
So
Sentimental Value is here. Sinners is here. No Sorry Baby, which is probably the biggest snub of
I
this
would
category.
say so.
Twinless and Weapons. Justice! Yeah, I think Sorry Baby is like the most crazy thing missing here.
I think so.
But focusing on who is here, we have seen, the two of us have seen the other four. It was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Personally, I think the weakest link here is Blue Moon.
Sure, I'll go with that since I haven't seen it. So.
I think there's a lot of great stuff there. I don't think it highlights anything crazy well off the top of my head in my memory. But I know It Was Just an Accident, I think, is a very important film.
Mm-hmm. And those last 20 minutes are really, really good.
Indeed.
Like everyone's saying.
Mm-hmm. If you had to pick, if you were giving the award, who should win?
That is so hard. Because I actually really like these last three scripts in particular, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Those are my top three. I mean, it's hard because maybe this is stupid, but I personally like to simultaneously think about what is, like Sinners, I think deserves to win a lot of awards.
Mm-hmm.
But it also makes me look in other areas like, okay, well, its script is good, but like 20 other things are also really, really good. So maybe I think about giving it to someone else here. Like I know Marty Supreme doesn't have a ton of frontrunners in any categories except maybe Timothée Chalamet. So part of me wants to give it here just because I think if anything else, it deserves like score or editing, but I don't think it has I don't know. I don't know if it has a chance.
For Marty Supreme, I think it has a very strong script.
Yeah.
I think other craft court category. Like, I don't know if I'd push it. I think, Sentimental Value, I also think has a really great script.
Yeah.
But man, for me,
I know,
it
it's
is
hard
hard.
to beat Sinners.
Sinners,
Like,
I think, is just so accessible. It's easy to get into. I think it's super exciting. And on top of all of those things that are already, you know, you love to see in film in general, it's also super complex. And it writes characters so well. And it's tackling so many different ideas. But I think in such an almost abstract way where people are kind of able to interpret so many different things from one art piece.
yeah.
Gosh, for me, I think should win is Sinners by Ryan Coogler.
It is hard to separate the should and will as well in my mind.
And will win.
I think Sinners will win. I don't know. I think it depends on what they want to do with international feature though, because if they're giving it sentimental value, then maybe they won't give it here. What's in the Academy voters' minds? That's what's hard. So I think Sinners should win. Will win. I would probably still say Sinners.
I think
but
it has
could be
of
Cinema
these
Value.
5. I think it would have the highest chance here.
I think so.
Because I think I also think of American Fiction, another really well written and acted black film, and then this was the only award that it won, even though it was great across the board. So I wouldn't be surprised if this falls similar to that again.
Okay.
I mean, not just winning this, but
No.
I think the script is there.
Sure. I'm good with that.
I'm clocking that. Next up, we have Adapted Screenplay. The nominees being Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams.
A lot of great picks here.
And we both have seen all of these.
Yes. I mean, it's gonna be One Battle After Another.
You know?
I think Hamnet should have more of a chance than it does. But it's gonna be One Battle After Another.
I'd put my money on One Battle After Another, but I don't know if I'd count Hamnet necessarily out. I know... no, maybe I would. I don't think it's won anything.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I think it should have more of a chance, should be more of a race, but I don't think it is at this point.
I don't know. I will say if I had to pick it, I honestly think I'd probably give it to Hamnet, even though I think One Battle After Another...
For should win?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I think One Battle After Another is a stronger movie overall, I think the script and the ideas that they use in Hamnet are just so well created and set up. Ugh, I love it. It's giving narrative. That feels like a dumb thing to say about a script, but I don't know. I don't know.
I would pick for both should and will win One Battle After Another, personally. But I do think Hamnet is a really good second place. I wasn't like the biggest fan of Train Dreams other than the craft categories, like cinematography, stuff like that. But I don't know. I also really liked Frankenstein and Begonia's screenplay. I like a lot of their screenplays here.
Indeed.
So, but I would still give both of mine to One Battle. Personally.
C'est la vie.
Okay.
Achievement in visual effects.
Yeah, we have Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners.
Are there any crazy selections here?
I mean...
Because, and something to shout out. You saw The Lost Bus, right?
Yes.
How were the visuals on that?
I mean, I thought they were good. I thought that's definitely the highlight of the movie. I was hoping the entire movie would be better than it was. I wasn't actually that wowed by it, but I do think the visual effects were really good. I'd probably say... I don't know. For some reason, I'm wanting to say Jurassic World Rebirth.
I'm aggressively saying Jurassic World Rebirth.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a little bit of a crazy pick here. Especially when you had Fantastic Four, First Steps. Even Superman is better than Rebirth. And, That's
Yeah,
kind of
and
crazy to me.
I also think Thunderbolts.
Yes, that's true.
Like, if you want to talk about franchises, like, to some tragically, but the superhero genre, I think, has been doing some great visual effects work this year.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But I would easily replace Jurassic World with Fantastic Four. But I'm not mad at any other place on this list, especially not Avatar and Sinners. I think those are two of the most
for
duh. Yeah. I mean, I think it's obvious that it's gonna go to Avatar, and it should. Anytime there's an Avatar movie here, it should always go to Avatar. But Sinners is also really freaking good, especially for a much smaller budget. So don't want to count that out.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that there's anything James Cameron could do with that franchise to not warrant being in this category so aggressively?
Gosh, not visual effects, not that I can think of. I mean, just continue as is. Like, I can't imagine it getting worse, especially since, like, if he keeps using whatever technology and people he has, basically. If he doesn't, I don't know.
Sure.
He'd have to, like, no, I really can't. I'm trying to make arguments and it feels wrong, and I'm just stuck, and I can't.
I
so.
wonder what would happen if the next 3 Avatar movies all look exactly the same.
It's hard because I get it, but it's such on a different level than anybody else is that it's like, even if it does stay the same, it's still leagues above what anyone else is doing. Because the technology, which is why it's so expensive for these movies to be made.
Well, but I would argue that it shouldn't just be about looks, it should also be about intent and truly finding those who...
Achievement.
Achievement and growth. Like, if someone was able to... If you're using the same technology and doing the same thing over and over again, I think even Avatar would find that achievement is a bit of a stretch. Not that I think he's come anywhere near recycling his visuals so far. I think he's found very creative places to expand his world, which create super cool and different visuals.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an interesting thought I had.
I don't know. I think so far you can tell a difference. Now, obviously, between the first and second one is the biggest difference. But even the third one, like, people were talking about how one of the first posters for Jake that came out was crazy, and I totally agree. I mean, just the amount of detail you could see in the photo, which is just entirely fake, is insane. And I think if they keep doing that, it's just more and more realistic. I don't know. It's like, when do you hit a wall where it just is real? I don't know. We shall see. And there might only be 2 left, so we shall see.
Gosh. Next. Oh, and Avatar: Fire and Ash is my should and will win.
Yes, same.
For achievement in sound, nominees are F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Sarat.
I don't think either one of us have seen Sarat.
I have not seen Sarat.
Okay. So we can't speak on that one.
But can I talk about one huge snub that's at the forefront of my mind?
Oh, Warfare?
Warfare.
Duh. Yeah.
Ugh. That poor movie.
I don't... It's hard for me because I'm going to be so real with y'all. Like, I don't know a crazy huge difference between sound and score. I mean, I do, but it's like, I'm thinking of Frankenstein on here. Because I'm thinking in my mind that the score was really good, but what differentiates that from the sound to have it earn its place here?
I would say, I think of, like, the scientific experiments, like the lightning.
Yeah.
I will say there's nothing super striking I can remember beyond maybe those.
Mm-hmm. That's why I would say...
For it being here?
I mean, since I haven't seen Sarat, so I can't speak on that.
Sure. Same.
Out of the remaining 4, that's the one I would replace with Warfare, personally. But.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Love you, Frankenstein, but you do so much grit,
so
much good.
More. Yeah.
I don't think this is where achievement is what comes to mind.
Yeah.
But of these ones, I think F1 won, what, the Critics' Choice is what I'm thinking?
I think so.
Do you
That
think...
and editing. I don't think it's going to win here, and I don't think it should. But I do think it has a place here, and I
would
would
agree.
not replace it. I think out of that entire movie, I would say sound is probably the only deserve. Editing was a little surprising to me, especially over some others that weren't there. And my cat's jumpy. Okay, and yeah, so I think it deserves to be here as a nominee. I don't think when you have Sinners in one battle after another here that it deserves to win.
Okay.
So, but it is hard. Then you have to think, okay, which one? I would give this one to one battle. I think probably will and should win, in my personal opinion.
If it went to either of these, I think
I would not
it'd
be
be
mad.
super well deserved. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
they're both operating on the same level but doing such different things.
Yeah.
But like the sound is so integral to these films.
Yeah. But again, I think, if I have to look at score / sound, I would give sound to one battle after another and score to Sinners. That's where my mind is.
You know, I feel like maybe I'm reversed. Because I continue to think One Battle After Another's score is not getting the respect on its name it deserves.
It is really good.
Because it's so iconic to me. And it, so creates such a different atmosphere watching the scene that I feel like you would be feeling if it wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
It, lightens it up in such, I think, an important way.
Yeah.
With, the keys, and it's so gentle, even though you're running away from fascism and saving your daughter who's been kidnapped. It's... gosh. Now the Sinners doesn't also have such a great score, but... gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I'll say should win. I'm lost. Here I am. I'm gonna say should win. Sinners will win One Battle After Another.
Alright.
For sound. Next up, best live action short film.
I have actually seen one of these.
Oh, which one?
The Jane Austen's period drama.
Isn't that so funny?
It's great. I'm happy if that wins. I feel like I would really like A Friend of Dorothy.
Yes.
And I'm interested to see the two people exchanging saliva. But, out of the one I've seen, I'd be really happy if that one won, because I think it's great.
The thing is, I was going... real quick, just to go through all the nominees. We have
Yes, sorry.
Butcher Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, and Two People Exchanging Saliva. I was able, on the first day that I started going in and looking for these, I was able to watch Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, and Two People Exchanging Saliva.
And since then, you've
Among
seen
those
the
three,
Dorothy.
Jane Austen's period drama, I was like, this is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
And then I watched A Friend of Dorothy, and I was like...
That's kind of where I'm at, where I'm like, I really like this one, but I do fear I'm going to really love the Dorothy one.
It is
when I can watch that.
so much, simpler in the way that it's made.
Mm-hmm.
And, you have to give so much credit to the period drama, because, man, do they lean into that aesthetic so hard and nail it.
Yeah.
But I think there's something so... I think the script of A Friend of Dorothy just hits such an important and heartfelt place.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it is, I think, so much... Maybe simpler isn't the right word, but in its making, it's on paper, it looks like a simpler story.
Mm-hmm.
But gosh, if the effect doesn't land, so much harder. I don't know.
Okay.
If in my opinion, it is, and not that I would feel bad at all if Jane Austen wins, but my should win, will win is A Friend of Dorothy's.
My should/will win, since it's the only one I've seen, is the Jane Austen one. So, sorry.
Hey. We talked about The Singers. The Singers is my least favorite that I've seen. I've not seen Butcher
Right.
Stain.
Yeah.
And then Two People Exchanging Saliva is, I think, super bold.
Mm-hmm.
I actually do really like this one.
Mm-hmm.
But I fear it's a little too out there.
Fair enough.
especially for an awards category, or like the awards circuit here, anyways. Yeah. Next up, we have.
Production design.
Ooh.
We have Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners.
So I'm gonna say this. This is, I think, the first place where I think Wicked has lost a rightful spot in the category.
I think that's fair. Yeah. What would you replace it with?
Honestly,
Because it's hard because, like, obviously not Sinners.
no.
You can't do Frankenstein either, so Frankenstein Sinners
And
are
I
out.
love Hamnet being here. I would say maybe production design. I would maybe say Marty Supreme. I think it has some great sets. Specifically, like the bathtub scene, I think is iconic. But
Because One Battle had a lot of really fun ones, especially when he starts to meet and interact with Benicio's character.
The sensei's place is so livable.
Like how it's
such a world.
How they're able to get in and out of places and it's all connected. I love that entire sequence.
I think I would have
Wow.
replaced Marty Supreme personally. I understand why he's here. I think that there is so much good going on there. But I don't know. It's hard to, for me, it's hard to beat Bringing Oz to life, at least for a nomination. I don't even think it should win, but I think that work should be recognized.
Hamnet, the only thing I would question is obviously
Go away.
the
Go away. I don't like you.
you don't know how to interact with cats.
I don't want to.
Mean to them. Okay. Let's move on and be nicer to cats. Thanks. Hamnet, I'm wondering about the Globe Theater, whatever. What do they
Yes,
call it?
the
Yeah. When deciding who gets nominated and what's eligible, does it only count like the places that they build? Do they have to add something to it, or is it also the places they pick? Because I think that's a great pick.
Because there is something to be said about like finding the places to shoot.
Yeah.
That is like a whole part of making a movie and where you're making it. I think that's very involved in that, I would think.
That would be my only question. Does that even count in the eligibility? Because I feel like obviously that's the biggest and most talked about scene is when they're there. But if that doesn't even count towards this category, then I would take it out, if that makes sense.
No, I track that.
I feel like it should count, but I just don't know.
Yeah. I will say of these other nominees, and I don't think Hamnet would be my pick to win either.
No.
But I think it does great work. I would say Frankenstein's pretty up there because I think they nail
Yeah,
such a great gothic.
yes.
Ugh, it's so good.
I would say that's my will/should win. But I wouldn't be mad about Sinners either.
Sinners, I think, is also really great.
Yeah.
Like having it be so centered on this one place, and then not to mention the town, like the shot of
And
them
the
like, crossing
church?
the street, and there's such vibrant places throughout.
Yeah.
Ugh, I would say Sinners and Frankenstein are really close. I do
Yeah.
think I'd give it to Frankenstein.
Me too. And I honestly think they will. Fingers crossed.
I agree.
They're both horror, so it's not like,
What
it's
a
not like they can
year.
be biased. Yeah, they gotta pick one of them. So, anyway.
Original song.
Oh my gosh, the hardest category to pick. Who will win? Guys, I'm sorry to the I lied to you truthers. It's great. Golden's winning. And if you don't think that at this point, you're delusional.
But you
That's
know
what
what?
I'm saying.
Enjoy your delusion. Like, in the most, like, wholesome way of, like, live your truth.
And I lied to you. That's the only one I wouldn't be mad if it beat Golden. It's not going to at this point.
Indeed.
That's how I would phrase it.
The other nominees are Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless.
She gets so many.
Have you even
nominees.
heard of that movie?
No, but I don't hear of most of the nominees she has. Ever. She had one last year too, I think.
Well, Diane Warren, Relentless is the movie. Golden
man.
from K-pop Demon Hunters, I Lied to You from Sinners, Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi. Also haven't heard of that.
No.
And then Train Dreams from Train Dreams.
Yeah.
I
Great song. Well, no, sorry. Great score. Sorry. I remember us talking about
here's
this.
my hottest of...
No,
I don't
yeah.
know how much of a hot take this is. The Train Dreams song at the very end of Train Dreams, and I loved that movie, and then it hit
Well, and the
that...
score I thought was good.
The score is great.
Yeah.
But then it goes into that end credit song that I knew going into it was nominated, and I'm like...
Yeah.
Huh?
You have high expectations
that took me out of the movie. I'm like, this is what was nominated?
Okay, we haven't talked snubs in a second, actually. I just realized that. But that's very relevant here. What do you think would be some snubs for original song? There's a few obvious ones, I think.
I mean, there's the other K-pop songs. However, I understand them wanting to back behind one.
I think they're smart, too.
I think they picked the best one.
Yeah.
And then there's also notably the original Wicked songs.
Yeah.
I think they don't super deserve to be here either.
I don't think so. I think,
although a little
with
justice for the girl in the bubble.
A little bit. More so than No Place Like Home,
certainly.
for sure. And then my pick for biggest snub here is Highest to Lowest from the movie Highest to Lowest.
No, that's a great one.
It was so good. And I'm not surprised it's not here, but I am still disappointed. And
Justice
you know
for-
what? There's two notably, what nominations here. So, I think it's
Also,
valid to want Highest to Lowest.
Justice for Trunks. Front to the back, to the back, to the front.
Justice for the crying, I love that.
For those who don't know, that's the song from Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, that Kristen Wiig sings as the villain.
Crying at the fountain.
She ate
Bathing
that.
in
Every
her
time we
tears.
saw her at the Actor Awards, I could not help but think of that.
Oh, what about obviously the SpongeBob song from
Big guy.
the ice
Big guy. Oh no.
God, that movie was a fever dream. Anyways.
Okay, I think we talked. Oh, should win, will win golden.
Oh, and then I'm a little surprised that the Avatar song isn't here. Dream is one.
I think that's insane over these two that we haven't.
I
heard
agree.
of.
I
It'd
would
be
have
one thing
done.
if it was some stuff that has also been making the awards circuit, but
Yeah.
and it's Miley Cyrus. Why don't you want Miley Cyrus at
Yeah.
your awards show?
I would have done replace the two I don't know with Dream is one and Highest Lowest personally.
Indeed.
However, I think I can confidently say both of our should/will wins is golden.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next category we have original score. The nominees are Bugonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. I believe Sinners is a bit of the front runner here, from my memory.
Yeah, and I think it should be. However, I really also liked One Battle After Another, as you said. But I Sinners is my will /
I will
should
say, this is kind of a goated list.
I totally agree. We've had great movies come out this year and being nominated. This is kind of the dream Oscars, and I fear saying that because I feel like they'll find a way to disappoint. But they can't. It's like with categories like this. No, that's not the way to phrase it. With nominees like this.
There you go.
It's like, how can you be left disappointed, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
So,
my pick is Sinners for both.
I think should win. I'm still going One Battle After Another, but I think it's going to be Sinners.
Yeah.
Ugh. Any
As
others?
long as they get one of each of sound and score, I'd be happy.
That I think is dream scenario.
Whatever order it is.
Any other nominees that you think?
Oh yes, I was constantly saying Marty
Supreme, I think, is valid.
I would personally replace. Gosh, I don't know. I can't off the top of my head remember either Hamnet or Begonia's.
I remember Begonia had a very striking impact on me from the time. I would say that's probably the one I would look to replace if I had to, but I would say Begonia and Marty Supreme are operating on a very similar level.
Okay. Yeah, I can't believe Marty Supreme is not here.
I'm trying to think of other ones. Fantastic Four. God,
Loki?
that's an iconic score, and
Loki?
I wish I truly I understand it not getting nominated. I wish that score was in conversation more because it is just so iconic.
It's really good. I think the Superman one too, like the Lex Luthor, that was going around for a
that
really
Lex
long
Luthor
time.
score is so good.
Yeah.
Scores have been really good. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but this year I've specifically been noticing score a lot more in movies.
They
and
do a
I
lot when they're
love
good.
that.
Yes, they are noticeable when they are there for sure. So, next up, we have makeup and hair.
Ooh.
We have Frankenstein. Duh. What is this next one?
I'm
Actually.
going to say Kokuho.
Kokuho?
Sure.
Cool. Cool name. Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister.
Interesting. So,
Obviously, we haven't seen that second one since we
Correct.
don't even know how to say it. So sorry.
And I have seen The Ugly Stepsister.
I've not.
I will say
Didn't you say I would like that one?
you would not be
Right,
able to watch that one because it is so aggressively
Body horror. Yeah, I can't. I love horror. Body horror is where my line is. I can't. I'm so sorry. I wish it wasn't. I wish I wasn't picky at all about movies, but I do have limits.
No, it's a brutal movie.
Yeah. The Substance is like at my limit right there.
Okay, so off the top, any snubs you can think that aren't in this category?
Ooh,
Oh, I know a big one. Once again, Wicked for Good. Looking at what they did to Jonathan Bailey,
Okay, that's
and
fair.
a physical thing.
That's fair. Even though he looked really scary, I mean, it was like well done. And Ethan Slater's.
Slater.
Yeah.
They did some amazing
That's
full body
fair.
work in that one. I wish the film highlighted it better, but the work was still done.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would say, as great as I think the one change is with the Smashing Machine, I'd replace the Smashing Machine of the four that I've seen.
Okay.
I know when we watched that, we did an episode on it, and we talked about that being maybe one of its front-running
At the time,
features.
sure.
And I think his transformation still is really good.
Yeah. But it's a
I don't know
competitive
if it's-
year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
competitive.
I can't think of any that we're missing at the top of my head.
I mean, it certainly got the biggest ones. Between an Ugly Stepsister, I would say it's amazing that it got nominated. I don't think it will win. Should win is hard. If it got more traction, I could easily see a world where this kind of took The Substance's place.
I think it will and should go to Frankenstein.
I think so as well. Because,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Very deserving.
Full body, I think it feels like Frankenstein, but it still feels so unique to Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Ugh. Gorgeous.
Great. Some great choices.
But
there.
Sinners, I think, is pretty right behind that.
Very true. I agree
Oh
with
my
that.
gosh, the vampire makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at Remick when he's full vampire.
Sammy's, like, when he has, like, the slashes across his
slash.
face. I think those are really well done.
Oh, there's such good gore makeup.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, but no, I think Frankenstein. I mean, especially your main characters in that most of the movie, it's still.
Yeah.
Speaking of, it's insane to me that Jacob Elordi is in the supporting category when it's at best half and half his movie.
Yeah. He is the title character. Well, no, I guess
he
he's
isn't.
not.
That's Frankenstein's
Whatever.
the doctor.
Whatever.
But no, I think some solid noms here. But I think Frankenstein's got this in the bag.
I think so too.
Achievement in casting. This is new this year, correct?
Yes. And then Sinners just won last night for
Correct.
Ensemble at the Actor Awards. So
Of these nominees, them being Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, which we have not seen yet, and Sinners, honestly,
I think.
for me, I think it's still Sinners.
Yeah, me too. Will and should win Sinners. For sure.
Absolutely. So, go Sinners. Great cast. And such a great cast. They work great together. They work great separately. And, like, so many characters are so iconic, even with such even if they have limited screen time, this movie just makes the most out of its cast.
Yeah, totally agree.
Next up we have...
International feature film.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to run through our noms?
Sure, I'll try. Let's see. The Secret Agent, because I haven't seen some of these, so I'm like, ooh. It was just an accident.
Which we have seen.
Sentimental Value.
Which we have seen.
Surat.
Have not seen.
And the voice of Hin Rajab.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I've only seen 2 of these. But I hope to see the others. At least The Secret Agent.
Yes. I don't know when we'll be able to see the voice of Hinderjob. I know that is a very important film.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely personally want to give that my attention when available.
Yeah.
And Surat, I feel like I've seen it nominated a lot, but I feel like I have not heard anyone kind of talk about what that movie is.
I have no idea. I feel the same way. So I at least want to see The Secret Agent, and I do think it's between It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value anyways. But I would like to see all of them at some point. They're on my list.
I think of the ones that I've watched, I think Sentimental Value would be my pick.
Me too. Will and should win. I think it's not going to get a lot of wins anywhere else. I think this is honestly probably its best bet.
But I think it's competed very well against the other movies, which I think
Yeah.
is why I would argue that this is pretty deserved here.
I think so too.
Gosh.
But then, people are saying No Other Choice is a huge
That's
snub
what I was
here.
going to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest snub that I've heard talked about in this category.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of other ones. Thinking through some of the other ones we had watched for other awards, I know Left-Handed Girl and Belen were some of my favorites. Among the 2 that I've watched, I will say it feels like there's a bit of a step up between these and that.
Fair.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have Achievement in Film Editing. Our options are F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners.
Hey, so we already talked about how F1 seems like... I mean, sure, the editing was good, but I don't know.
Was it
What would
achieving?
what would you replace it with? That's the conversation I want to have.
You know what? Okay, off the
I'm
top
trying
of
to
my
think
head,
as well.
maybe Begonia. I think the editing in that film,
Oh.
like the back and forth, I think is really striking.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess out of this list, maybe I'm not mad at it being here, but I'm not mad because it's not a front runner and it's not gonna win. You know. If it was like maybe gonna win, I'd be like, whoa, but it's not. So I'm like, okay, and I'm glad that Marty Supreme is here.
Yes.
'Cause I don't think it's been in editing
Honestly,
everywhere. So
of these options, I think Marty Supreme is my should win.
should win. Mine too. Will win. I would give it to One Battle After Another.
I agree.
Because I also think that's a really
Although
good
it is
second.
really good.
Yes. Like, cartoon, I'm like... But
That's
Marty
pretty out
Supreme,
there.
to me, had really good editing throughout the film. And so did One Battle After Another, but I think, obviously,
it's a lot
that
more striking
shines.
in
Yes.
Marty Supreme. I think it stands out,
Yes.
like, aggressively throughout.
Like, the second I left that film, I said my 3 standouts in my mind were editing, score, and, obviously, Timothée Chalamet.
Timothy.
So, yeah.
Very interesting. Alrighty, moving on. Best documentary short film.
Documentary. You always say
I
documentary.
don't know. I think it's fun to say it that way.
Okay.
Sue me.
Well, you're lucky because if you've seen any of these, you've seen more than me. I have not
Correct.
seen a single one. I'm so sorry.
So, of these ones, I've seen All the Empty Rooms, Armed with Only a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud, and The Devil is Busy.
I've heard you talk about some of these.
I think I talked about The Devil is Busy because that made my top 10 for February.
In the camera one, the journalist guy, right?
I might have talked about that one a little bit.
I remember.
of these choices, a quick little rundown of what each one is of the three I've seen. The Devil is Busy follows a day in the life of an abortion clinic that's being protested in
That one
Georgia.
I have saved. I have a lot saved on my YouTube. I just haven't watched all of them yet.
That one I really love the insight of the people who work there.
Yeah.
And talking about why their work is so important and what they have to combat. I think that one's done really well. And it follows the manager, who I think is just such a sweet woman and is such, I think, a perfect face for the healthcare field. Truly love. Armed with Only a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud. It follows some of the footage that Brent Renaud was filming in Ukraine before he died in an attack, where he was illegally shot, even though he was wearing a press, so that is war crimes. And then the rest of the film is his brother, who's also in international journalism, kind of highlighting some of his other work that he's done in other places.
Yeah.
Before I watched it, and let me throw this out there, journalism, especially right now, is so important. And Brent Renaud died a hero, trying to show injustice across the world. However, this documentary, at least I caught it that time.
Yeah.
This documentary, I think, is kind of too loose to have, I think, the intended impact. Instead of focusing on the incident that took his life, it kind of looks at all of these other places he's been. And some people have argued that it feels almost like it's kind of using these other circumstances and people in suffering and crisis to kind of add momentum. I do agree that I think it kind of loses the point of what you're trying to say here.
Okay.
And in any case, I think it's not as strong as trying to highlight what the case that he truly was a victim of, which was, being attacked by Russia illegally. It's weird choices, I feel. And then All the Empty Rooms, I think, is also a really strong one. It is this project that a news anchor picked up where he goes around and he takes photographs of the rooms of children who have died in school shootings, kind of encapsulating, the idea of what their next day would have been or what they left.
Yeah.
And kind of that project he's assembling. That I think is very striking and impactful.
Yeah.
Gosh. Of these three, I think the most well-made is The Devil is Busy. I think the most... it's hard to say the most important.
Yeah, they're very different topics.
But I think, especially for an American audience right now, I think All the Empty Rooms is, the most important one to see. If I had to award one of them,
I don't know. Roe v. Wade got overturned, so I'm like, guys, I don't know.
I'd probably give it to The Devil is Busy.
Yeah.
I could not tell you for the life of me who is the front runner, but I think that's my should and will win, followed basically on the same level as All the Empty Rooms.
Yeah.
Next category.
Documentary feature film.
We are once again on the same wavelength
Yes.
here.
Can I
Go for it.
Okay. This is the Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor.
We have seen The Perfect Neighbor.
Perfect Neighbor, and that's it.
However,
And I that would be really hard to beat, because I honestly a little bit regret starting with that one, because it just made the momentum to watch anything else in that category die. I'm like, how does it get better than this?
I feel like...
Which I don't watch a lot of documentaries,
I feel like
but...
It doesn't diminish my excitement to watch any of these, but I think the editing is so strong. Like, in one of these other awards show, it was nominated for editing. Yeah. And I'm like, even though it's a documentary, I understand why.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would, if I'm not in any of these documentaries at the beginning, I think it's going to be really hard to get through it now.
Yeah, I agree.
So, through lack of knowledge, but also what a movie, The Perfect Neighbor should win, will win.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next we have directing. What? I'll
Our
read that one.
nominees are Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners.
What a perfect list here. It's hard because I'm like Eva Victor for Sorry Baby, but I'm like, who would I replace?
No, I think directing has been very strong.
Like, this is impossible. An impossible game here. I can't, no, I really can't with any sort of passion say, this one, I would replace this one. I'm like, no, you simply just need to add another one. That's the only solution. What a great list. Would be so happy for anybody who won.
If I had to pick I think Ryan Coogler needs the Oscar, homie.
I mean, I think so too. That would be my will and should win, but I just can't.
Paul Thomas Anderson has won it.
And Chloe Zhao has won it.
Right. Ooh.
For Nomadland.
Yeah.
Well, no, has she? She won
it
Best Picture. So she hasn't.
Not for directing. That is
Does
interesting.
she get an Oscar for that? Probably.
For Best Picture?
Probably. A lot of people get it for the Best Picture.
I would assume so.
Yeah, I hope so. But not for direct. Okay.
I would say I think Ryan Coogler should win it. I think Paul Thomas Anderson will win it.
I'm going to have a little bit of faith. I agree. Oh, no, I agree. I'm sorry. I agree. I think they're going to give it to Paul Thomas Anderson.
It's hard to say that it's undeserved, but I think after the journey that Sinners has gone on, I think there's not a good reason it shouldn't go to him.
Yeah, I think he just did such a wonderful job. I agree.
And I think that entire... Oh, gosh.
Really aggressively, I think it should go to Sinners, but I am a little bit half and half stuck between him and Paul Thomas Anderson.
Well, because we'll win, it's what is the Academy going to do?
Exactly.
And I don't trust them.
I don't know.
Costume design.
We have Avatar, Fire, and Ash, which is really funny because they're all
crazy
fake.
to me.
I'm like, what?
Other than like
Should
basic
that be
military
costume?
outfits.
Yeah.
And Spider.
No, I think this should aggressively not be on this list, and then I would give this one to Wicked as well.
Yes. The one, oh, you mean the guy who won it last year? That's crazy.
What are we doing here, people? Frankenstein, well-deserved. Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. Great list. Well, it continued.
You know what? I'm going to say, I feel like this is maybe towards one of the weaker lists of this year for this category. I think...
It's hard because it's like Frankenstein, I think, is the front runner, and it should be. So it's like, who cares about anybody else?
I think of Hedda belonging here, and I'm
That's
like,
fair.
I think...
Very fair.
I think it easily could have beat out Avatar, Fire, and Ash, which, why are you here? We're talking, like, fruits and apples here. Nope. Apples and oranges here. I might be having a stroke. I'm so sorry.
Fruits
We're
and
talking
apples.
squares and rectangles?
Anyways.
And then, as much as I love Hamnet,
I don't know. I really
feel
like
the
her
costume
dress.
design on Agnes is the only one that I think is, like, particularly really inspired, and then everything else I feel is very appropriately timed, if that makes sense. Like, everything feels period appropriate, but Agnes, I think, is where it really shines, as opposed to Hedda, where everyone is just so elegant and
Yeah.
But
Marty Supreme has some good ones, has some mediocre ones, doesn't really super stand out. Sinners,
I can't think of an outfit from Marty Supreme that stands out.
I think of like some of Odessa's and Gwyneth Paltrow's characters. Those two characters. I think of some of theirs. But Sinners here, I will say, I think is a solid pick.
I would
They
agree.
had some really good
In the
ones.
juke joint?
I know, right? Yeah, I totally agree. So I think Sinners and Frankenstein are definitely our strongest. Wicked needs to be on this list.
Like, it's one thing for
If
him
we're
for them
giving
not
it-
to win it again this year, but to not get a nomination, I think is insane.
If we're giving noms to costumes that aren't even real, where's K-pop Demon Hunters on this list? I'll say it.
Honestly,
I'll
that's
say
real.
it. I'm like, it's not real, so
I'm
let's
so
give it
curious
to
what they're
them.
even gonna put up when they give this award out. Like, what?
Some people are saying The Crown, but I've seen her where it's not real. They add it in post. They have like the outline, and then they add anything that looks cool or interesting on it in post. Why is it here? I don't understand. Anyways, luckily it's gonna go to Frankenstein, and it should.
Yes.
So,
Because gosh, so gorgeous.
yeah.
Going over to cinematography.
We have Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
I'm very glad Train Dreams got here.
Yes, I totally agree. Cinematography.
I feel like this is.
I would pick Sinners for both of my picks. However, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think Frankenstein is a really, really close second for me. If I got to see it on the big screen, maybe it would get above Sinners. But I didn't, so.
I would say, I think I would give this to Sinners as well. And I think it probably will go to Sinners.
Yeah.
I would say next up is Train Dreams. I think
Yeah.
it's very striking, and I think it matches a very similar energy to The Brutalist. And I think uniqueness of design.
Yeah.
So it
Good
feels weird that it's,
comparison.
in that regard, it feels weird that it's not doing more traction kind of anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's say La Vie, I guess. Yeah, and then Marty Supreme and One Battle After Another, I think they're great, but it's hard to beat these other ones.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up, we have Best Animated Short Film.
I've seen one of these. I've seen Forever Green, which was really good.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
I mean, I feel good picking that as my should and will win.
So, all of the nominees are Butterfly, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. I have seen Butterfly, Forever Green, which you've also now seen, and The Retirement Plan.
Mm-hmm.
I also went ahead and watched what won the animated short film at the Annies, which was Snow Bear.
Mhm.
I think I talked about this in our last episode, but
Yeah, you talked
it is
to me
insane
about
to
it.
me that the winner of that category is not here
here.
nominated. And
Mhm.
maybe you should look at who's nominating that and who isn't nominating here. I don't know. But Butterfly, I think, has the most striking visual style.
Mhm.
It's like painting animation.
Yes, I've seen clips of that or like pictures of it. Yeah.
I wish I was able to connect to the story, I think, a little deeper, even though the visuals, I think, are beautiful.
Mhm.
I think for me, it kind of sacrifices a little bit of kind of connecting to a character because they chose something that's super stylistic.
Mhm.
And so it's hard to see, for me, to clock this art, this, like, painting as a person
Mhm.
because of that deliberate choice, even though
Okay.
there's not a bad frame in there.
Sure.
But it makes kind of the narrative of it feel a little hard for me to attach to. Forever Green is my favorite. I love like the 3D animation. It feels like everything's carved out of wood,
Yeah.
which I think is so cute, and I think it is just so sweet and heart wrenching. Ugh. And then Retirement Plan is a very quick one.
Mhm.
It's basically this guy. It's 2D animation. This guy going through a list of things he wants to do once he retires, and it's this really cute list, and like it's kind of talking about like you gotta live your life now,
Mhm.
because he starts like aging throughout it and getting older as he's
Mhm.
doing the things, and it's very
Aw.
I don't know. It's very once again it's very simple but very impactful.
Yeah.
I think should win will win of the ones I've seen. Forever Green.
Same. Of the one I've seen. Next up, we have Best Animated Feature with Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. Some really great picks here.
The only one we've not seen is Arco. I do own it now, so we can watch it.
That's awesome.
Is there anyone, before we maybe get too deep into here, do we feel like there's anything that's missing from this category? I know there's a big one that you might be forgetting.
Yeah, I'm probably forgetting one. Which one?
I don't know what exactly the rules are.
Oh, Neja 2?
But anything that is not putting
No.
Neja 2 into this category this year needs to be changed.
From what I read, it was because of the eligibility, right? Because I would have said that as a snub for international feature film had that been eligible, but it's not. Or at least I don't think it is. Anyways, it's not eligible in this category at least. So if it was, I would say that's a snub. But it's kind of like Heated Rivalry, where it's like, I hate that it's not eligible for the Emmys, but now I can't call it a snub because it's like it never had a chance. Just frustrating.
I think it goes into a case where I think, especially when we're talking, I don't know, I guess it's super American based, but still, I feel like you should want great movies to be in the running or like eligible for these conversations. I don't know. I feel like I would, if I were involved there, I would look at what we're keeping out. I know I've heard some people talk about the Chainsaw Man and the Demon Hunter movie being snubbed here. Have not seen either of those, nor their shows.
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Yes.
Right. But I respect those opinions. I will say,
I'm happy Elio is here.
I love that Elio's here.
I mean, I really liked Little Amelia, the character of Rain. I think it was adorable and really well made.
And such a distinct animation style.
Yes, that's
always
what
love to see.
Yeah, very pretty.
And like our best watching moment all year.
And then, but I mean, it's gonna be K-pop Demon Hunters, and it should be. So, yeah.
Well, how do you feel about Zootopia 2 being here? And I think it won.
It did win at
it won
somewhere.
The BAFTAs.
You know, I think it deserves to be here.
I agree. I love seeing the
Out of the
parallels
ones I've
between
seen.
like classic films within it.
Yeah.
I think it does great work to appeal to multiple audiences. And gosh, if Zootopia does not just feel like so brought to life in animation, so much love.
Very, very fun.
But yeah, should win, will win. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, for sure.
Next.
Now we get into acting categories, which is gonna be 3/4 crazy this year. Jesse Buckley, that Oscar is yours. Everyone else, I'm so sorry, I have no idea. Zero idea. I mean, Timothée Chalamet is still, from past wins, the front runner, but Michael B. Jordan, and I can't say I'm mad about that because I love me some Timmy C, but like, I don't know if y'all remember, but past episodes, I've been like, I want Michael B. Jordan to win. I can't be mad about that either. I simply can't.
No, what was crazy was until I had watched Marty Supreme, I was like, man, it is going to be so hard to convince me that anyone else should even be in conversation for this. Even after watching One Battle After Another, I'm like, I love Bob so much. And I think it's one of my favorite roles of Leo's. But Michael B. Jordan. Then I watched Timmy Chalamet and Marty Supreme, and I'm like, why do we have to pit two kings against each other?
No, exactly. Okay, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Indeed. We're on supporting actress. Our nominees are Elle Fanning in Sentimental Value, Inga Ibsdottir Lilias in Sentimental Value, so sorry if I messed that up, Amy Madigan in Weapons, Wunmi Musaku in Sinners, and Tiana Taylor, One Battle After Another.
Phenomenal list. Absolutely phenomenal list. Supporting actress has been wild this year, because I think Odessa Ozion also had a really great performance, and Gwyneth Paltrow and Marty Supreme. I think, who else are they leaving out? Ariana Grande in Wicked.
Ariana Grande not getting nominated, especially for the second movie, is my biggest snub for this category.
I would have replaced Elle Fanning with probably someone from Marty Supreme, personally. But I wouldn't have been mad if she was replaced with Ariana Grande. I don't know. I think she did well in Sentimental Value. But I was a little bit surprised to see how many people were saying like she should win from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, she's definitely the second best performance in that movie, supporting actress wise. It was a little surprising to me, but I'm also not mad that she's here either. It's hard because everyone did a really good job, so like I don't know.
No, I agree. I don't feel bad, but not everyone here would have been my first choice.
Oh, and then oh, never mind. Chase Infinity's different. And then Regina Hall's not here. So there's a lot of supporting actresses that could have been in this category. I think very deservingly so.
But I will say the three that I think deserve to be cemented here are Amy Madigan, Winmi, and Tiana.
Absolutely. Those
Oh my
are my
gosh.
top three as well. It's really impossible to say to like, pick somebody.
Amy Madigan has won 2 major ones
yes.
now.
So she's as much as of a front runner as Timothée Chalamet and Sean Penn. But I think they're still up in the air enough to not really know. My personal pick would be Wunmi Musaku for Sinners. Personally. But I literally not a single bone in my body would be mad for Amy or Tiana.
I think I would give it to
Or
Tiana
Inga.
Taylor.
Yeah. Oh, you would.
I would.
Okay.
I think that's
Interesting,
crazy.
because I feel like you weren't really.
When we had watched it, I remember feeling
Yeah.
like she was kind of almost an incomplete character.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a conversation started that wasn't finished.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, I've heard a lot of other opinions on her role because she's such a crazy and complex character.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched it again,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually have come so full circle that I feel like it's such a great role at showing how complex being a mother and a revolutionary, and like the idea of it reminds me of what I think If I Had Legs I'd Kick You and Die My Love
Mm-hmm.
are trying to do. I think One Battle After Another does it a lot better.
A lot quicker.
And a lot
Shorter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that she encapsulates what that conversation is trying to say brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
And she killed her speech when she won it at the Critics' Choice.
Yes.
I love her.
love her.
She's such a ball of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, unfortunately, if we're looking at the Academy's measurable dislike of horror, I think of those three, she's the most likely.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd
So?
be so happy for any of them, though. I really would.
Indeed, any of those three, and I'm still gonna be psyched. I'm gonna put my hand back here. Next category we have actress
Leading
in a leading role.
actress.
Yes.
We have Jessie Buckley in Hamnet, Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue. Ooh, how do you say it? Renee
Renee
see
Reinsve.
Rinesby, yes. In Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone in Begonia.
Indeed.
So, my personal sub would be Eva Victor in Sorry Baby. Not that I'm surprised she's not here. But, oh, and then Chase Infinity. I think he's a
Chase
huge
Infinity,
one.
I think, is the big one.
I actually think that's a little bit infuriating. Because I'm a Kate Hudson defender for Song Sung Blue. Here's my hot take: is I would take out Rose Byrne for this. So sorry, Queen. You've done great in other roles. That movie was just like depressing. I think parts of I mean she is the best part of it. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a reason that she's what people are talking about from that movie. But that's my hot take. If I had to take out somebody for Eva Victor.
My thought is like specific, and maybe this is not the way most people look at it, but I can't help but look at it as like you're awarding the performer and then also kind of recognizing the character. And for me, that character is just really confusing in If I Had Legs I'd Kick You.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of inconsistency with what that character is and the struggles she's going through that kind of counteract each other a lot for me. But it's getting Rose Byrne some respect on her name.
I know,
and I cannot argue with that.
I don't know.
But Chase Infinity, man.
Oh my god. I would put both Eva Victor and Chase Infinity here and replace Rose and Kate personally. They are my bottom two. However, I do adore them both, and I will defend Kate Hudson being here.
I would maybe, as much as I think she does great, I would maybe rate Renee Rainsby out. I feel like Sentimental Value has amazing performances.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm in the minority that I feel like they're maybe a little over talked about. A little bit.
Except for
I
Stellan
understand it.
Skarsgård, I
would agree
think
to
he
that.
deserves to be.
Everyone else I think does such great work.
No.
I think it's still a great movie, but I think there's some other actresses that I would push a little higher.
My favorites were him and Inga's performance, I would say. The sister.
Mm-hmm. But here, I love Kate Hudson getting this. I don't think she should win, even in a world where we didn't have Jessie Buckley being a clear front runner. But I do love her work in that movie so much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jessie Buckley. And
That Oscar is yours, and so deservingly so.
And once again, this was very similar to my male category, where I was like, it's going to be so hard to convince me Emma Stone doesn't deserve it this year. And then I watched Hamnet.
Oh.
Because I loved Emma Stone in Begonia.
Yeah.
And I think that, in my mind, she will always have won that second Oscar for this movie. And not Poor Things. So much love for those who appreciate that movie. There are things I appreciate, just not the whole thing.
Okay, next we have Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role with Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo in Sinners, Sean Penn in One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value.
Gosh. I know some people are really pushing for Delroy to like completely switch it up so someone different is won every time in these major categories. It would be hard to not love that.
I think he did a great job. I think Jacob Elordi would be so deserving. I don't think he's going to win, but I loved that he won the Critics' Choice and was more into that conversation. Benicio del Toro is still my personal pick.
I would agree.
So
I fear
I'm
against
scared of Sean
every
Penn
bone
right
in
now.
my body, I think it's going to be Sean Penn. And
Oh, but he already has 2 Oscars. He's a very talented actor. He's given some great performances. I've loved some of his performances. I like him in this movie.
he's great.
You already have 2, dude. And Emma Stone is one conversation, you're another. At least she seems to be a good person, you know? So.
No, man.
No,
And Stellan Skarsgård here. Gotta give my man his flowers. He does such great work
Yes.
everywhere. I love that he's getting recognized here for another great performance.
If I had to like rank these performances, I would do like Benicio del Toro, Delroy Lindo, Jacob Elordi, Stellan Skarsgård. They're like neck and neck, and then I think a good gap between Sean Penn.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would say Benicio del Toro is my favorite. I hate that he's not won it yet.
I know.
I would love for him to win it here, but also, I'd really want it to go to either him or Delroy.
I totally agree. Anybody but Sean Penn, I would be okay with. But I fear a little bit. So we'll
I
see.
fear if I had to put money on it, it would be Sean Penn. And you know what? Something had to happen that night.
You know, exactly. We had to lose in some way, okay? It was getting too good.
Even though it hasn't happened yet.
Well, no, the lead up to it has been too good. It really has.
Performance by an actor in a lead role.
Okay.
Go for it.
Timothée Chalamet in Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, and Wagner Moura in The Secret Agent.
Yeah, you killed that.
Sounds right. Yay!
I'm
Okay.
trying to remember. Are there any snubs in this category?
I mean, the guy from No Other Choice, people were saying he was really good. The guy who won the BAFTA isn't even nominated here.
that whole movie, to be fair,
I don't even know.
I think it's interesting to look at the cultural differences between the BAFTAs and the Oscars, because it's being judged off of two separate societies and what is meshing over there versus over here.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I swear, I'm kind of bummed that conversation isn't happening over here. It makes me curious what conversations we're also missing from that tiny island over there.
Yeah. I don't know. So, I mean, I haven't seen Blue Moon, so I can't, or No Other Choice, so I can't speak on should they switch. But just from the conversation I've heard, I bet that's probably what people would switch him with, is the guy from No Other Choice.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in a lot of good things, so.
I would say, of the ones I've watched here, Ethan Hawke is a clear bottom pick for me.
One.
Ooh,
Denzel Washington. Oh my god,
Ooh.
from Highest to Lowest, actually. I think that entire movie should be more in this conversation. I think Spike Lee is very underappreciated, so.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think that a lot of people agree, but I think I would also replace
Oh,
Ethan
and
Hawke
Train
with Joel
Dreams.
Edgerton from
Okay.
Train Dreams.
Mhm.
I would also say like George Clooney from Jay Kelly. I think
well.
Ethan Hawke does great work, and I think he does solid work here. He plays a very unlikable theater person who's old now, and he's constantly like trying to build up relationships with younger people and like gain sympathy out of them.
Mhm.
He's very Martin Short from Only Murders in the Building, Oliver coded.
Interesting. That's not what I would have guessed.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
but like more of an asshole, if you can imagine that.
Damn. Okay.
It's
But at
crazy.
least Oliver has charm while being an asshole, you know?
He
Balance.
I don't know.
It's not?
It's crazy. There's definitely an imbalance to his whole character, but it's easy to watch. It's hard for me to say that he's of the caliber performance-wise of these other ones, and especially given some of these other ones that we've talked about. But looking at who we do have here, another such a solid 3, and Wagner Moura, even though we haven't watched it, he won the Critics' Choice.
Mm-hmm.
Love that
He's
for
really
him.
good. But yeah, I mean, Michael B. Jordan, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Timothée Chalamet. What a trio. It's actually a little bit crazy to me that Leonardo DiCaprio is not more in the conversation. The only time he's won is when he's been in a separate category. When they've split up comedy and drama. That surprises me a little bit. However, I'm very happy that it is working out that Michael B. Jordan and Timothée Chalamet are more in the conversation.
As much as I love Bob as a character, I think Michael B. Jordan just does such amazing work.
Yeah.
And so does Timothy. Even though Michael B. Jordan is doing quite literally double the work here, Timothée Chalamet has just been so on it. It's hard not to want to award him for his like career at such a young age and this movie, because I feel like he also picked a movie here that I think so encapsulates him and his drive within his own field that it feels so hard to kind of separate that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think still go with Will and Should Win Timothée Chalamet. But again, not a single ounce of me would be mad about Michael B. Jordan at all.
I would shed tears of
Not a
joy
little
if
bit.
it still went to Michael B. Jordan. But no, I agree. I think it
Be so
should
happy
and
for
still
both.
win for Timothée Chalamet. If I had to pick, because a lot of people had to when they voted. Our final category is Best Picture. The nominees are Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
In what universe does F1 deserve to be here?
It's insane.
And I
to me.
liked that movie. I really liked that movie. It's just a different... It just simply does not deserve to be in the Best Picture conversation. At all. I think there are several movies I would replace this with. I would replace this with Highest to Lowest, with Sorry Baby, with
I would say
even
Avatar.
like I was a little anyways. K-pop Demon Hunters. It's been a long time
K-pop
since
Demon Hunters. That's
an
what
animated.
belongs there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I know they don't like putting animated films in Best Picture, and they suck for that.
Then you shouldn't have done it one time to prove that it can happen.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah, I think quite a lot. Everything else, I'm happy with being here.
Yeah.
Not mad about it. I'm sure a lot of people would put No Other Choice in here over F1. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me. But anyways,
Of the choices
it's
we
not gonna
have.
win. So at least there's that. At least
Can
it's
you
not.
imagine that timeline?
Well, I mean, we had Amelia Perez last year, so whatever. If that's the worst it gets this year, I'll take it, I guess. Because it's not like any of the ones I just named were gonna have a chance of winning either. So. The ones that have a chance of winning, Sinners and One Battle After Another.
Indeed.
I think simply that's the only options. And I think, kind of valid. There's a lot of really good choices here, but I think those are the clear front runners.
I agree.
And I would give it to Sinners. I think it's had such a moment. I think it's had such a long-lasting moment as well. I mean, I think people forget how early that came out compared to so many of these other films. And people are rightfully so still talking about it so much. So I would still give it to Sinners as movie of the year.
I would also give it to Sinners. I will say One Battle After Another has beaten it like every time it's been up against it in these major awards. I feel like this would be the last chance for them to do so. I will say the BAFTAs moment could warrant a shift. Among voters, I could easily see that having some influence.
If the Actors Awards came out earlier, I would also say that because I felt like Sinners was such a moment last night. But it didn't. Nominations were closed before that, so. I'm trying to think with the lens before last night. Right now I'm it's so obviously Sinners, but I'm like, oh yeah, it's been so obviously One Battle After Another before this. So. Yeah.
I think if it weren't for the last couple award shows, I would say clearly One Battle After Another. I think Sinners might have a shot here.
Perhaps. We still have a chance.
I think if I had to put money on it, I'd still probably vote that the Academy's going to do what the Academy always does. So I think One Battle After Another will win, but I think Sinners should win.
It's going to be another thing where Sinners wins the most awards all night, but doesn't win Best Picture, which is so stupid. But we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong. I would love to eat my words. Would love. Words. No. Yeah, I would still say should win. Sinners will win One Battle.
Indeed. Oh,
Nice.
wow.
What a great conversation.
Indeed. This was a lot of fun. Please let us know who are you happy to see in these categories, who you think is going to win, and who's missing? Who are your snubs?
And we will be making a video after the Oscars to talk about the wins, to talk about next year, future careers, all the things. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
So we will be having that conversation sometime after the actual Oscars.
So if you enjoyed this episode, I imagine you'll enjoy that one as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching today. Please stay tuned for more content on this awards show and then some of the movies coming up. We're going to see more Jessie Buckley with The Bride this upcoming weekend, which I'm excited about. So there's plenty of more for us to talk about. Until next time, I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Alicia.
And thank you so much for watching Not So Straight Nerds.
Bye.